Uh, Hi. All right. Welcome to our current edition of the Ragic Office Hour. And let's get started with the questions. All right. The first question is on the form page. How can I make a header repeat on every page? For example, if I'm making a quotation and the quotation extends for 2 or 3 pages, I want the header to be printed on each page and it should automatically fit to the top of every page. In Excel, we select a row to be repeated on every page. Is it possible? Why not on Ragic? Okay. First of all, Ragic is a browser-based application. So when you're talking about pages, like printed pages, it's relatively harder for a browser-based applications to control how pages are printed because it's kind of a limitation of the browser-based software. But we do have something for you to kind of do this kind of header because there's a feature we have called mail merge. So you can do a mail merge to to generate this type of output so that on a mail merge you can let me find the mail merge document first. Mail merge. There we go. So on the mail merge, you can create a template like an Excel template or a Word template, and on those Excel or Word template, you can add the headers to these template pages. And when you generate a mail merge from these templates, and Ragic will find if you have configured some of the Excel fields or someplace on the Word file, it has um, this kind of formatting, which refers to a field on Ragic and this type of bracket or tag. And if you add this type of tag, when it's output to an Excel file or a Word file, it's going to be replaced with the actual field value of the record. So in this way, you can kind of generate an arbitrary design of a Office document, whether it's Word file or Excel file, and you can output a record or lots of records as Word or Excel file. And when you output them as Word or Excel file, this way you will be able to use the header and footer features that's already available on Word or Excel. Okay, so in summary, um, headers and footers are not supported on printer friendly, but we do have an alternative where you can output your records as Word or Excel files, which is called mail merge. On the mail merge, you will be able to configure headers and footers on the template file. Okay, and you can see, you can see here for more detail on our document on the mail merge documents. There we go. Next question. All right. When sending an email from a specific entry to our supplier, we always use our own Gmail as CC. Yesterday, we tried to send this email from the system to our supplier. The result was that the same email was successfully arrived at our Gmail CC, but not reached the supplier email. As far as it did not receive an email at all. When we forward the same email from our Gmail, they did receive it successfully. Okay, so this sounds most likely a result of a spam filter because if you're if you have already received the email and they didn't. It's so the email is definitely out. So it's there's either two possible reasons. First of all, is that the to email is wrong, or the supplier email server has blocked this email. So yeah, there's possible two reasons. Supplier email server has rejected your message. So how we would recommend is that, if you can like try again and let us know the exact time where you try sending this email again, and we should be able to look into the mail log and see, if there's any bounce or any specific reason provided by their email server. And well, actually, in the database maintenance page, you can also check the mail log. So perhaps there's some information there. Yeah. All right. Yeah, because if you received it in your Gmail, then it's most likely the email it has been successfully sent, but just not received correctly. Okay, continue the previous. Can I use my Gmail email server instead of Ragic server? Because, mail server block, and if it's possible, how do we do that? Um, Technically, it's possible, but it's really, really, really highly recommended that you don't do this because um, it's for Gmail, it's um, against their, I think it's their user policy. Is because Gmail servers, they are not designed to send this kind of transactional email. Because when Regex sends out an email, it's not being sent out by an actual user, a person. So it's sent out by our system, by your database. So, and Gmail, it specifically said that, this is their email server is not suitable for transactional emails. It's suitable for, manual entry emails. So, and they have a lot of limits on the number of emails sent, the speed of which that email can be sent. So there are lots of limits that you will run into. So it's highly not recommended that using it as a transactional email server, because they have specifically designed it to not handle this type of transactional email. Yeah, so it's we really recommend against it. And if there are some deliverability issues, and you're feel free to contact Regis support, and we will, take a look at the mail log and see if there's anything we can do. Yeah, and one thing you could always ask the other side is that you could ask them to whitelist our mail server IP. I think you can find the mail server IP on our knowledge base. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Designed for transactional email sending and have lots of limitations. Yeah, and yeah, just a link for your reference. Yeah, but basically, we just really don't recommend using Gmail servers or any type of like Hotmail or any kind of free email service. They have a lot of configurations to prevent you from doing this. All right. Next one, reports. Okay, I asked a number of time about using different colors on report to make them easier to read. But users should input to Excel. That's not something I want to do every time I run a report. Really no way to do this, or for some reason it can't be done. What about being able to add line breaks between records? Some sort of control, make the reports easy to read. Okay. Um, yeah, it's it's when developing this kind of software, and we have lots and lots of requests, and it's not that we don't want to add these features, it's just that there's so many feature requests, and there's just each of them takes quite a bit of time to do, so we have to just to kind of prioritize them, and only try to do the most important ones or the ones that the most number of people has asked for. So um, we will try to add some of these coloring features or other ways for you to um, customize your report. But um, in your case, in your case, what you're saying is kind of generic because like adding line breaks between records, and I'm not sure which type of report that you're referring to. Um, yeah, which report that you need to add line breaks. I'm not sure, what you're referring to. So yeah, we will need some more detail on what you would like to suggest. Okay, and by the way, and we're also working on the ability for you to add widgets to your sheets. So this is something that's gonna be available online like within a month. So, just if you're listening to the webinar, yeah, that's we're definitely adding more reporting functions, and I think the widgets that you can add to your sheets and add to your account homepage would be a really great addition to your database application because you can make like dashboard reports with lots of widgets. Report widgets you can add to your sheets and account homepage. So, yeah, probably in like a month. Yeah, the feature is mostly ready and is we're right now we're starting to test them. Yeah, but when you're making the suggestions, we because this kind of is kind of generic and vague, so we're not really sure. Even if I want to make changes, I'm just not really sure which report or what we should change because we really need the specifics to see if it's feasible or how hard it is to do. Okay, URL shorteners and button. Is there a way to have a URL field automatically shorten the URL or turn into a sheet button? Okay, this one is fairly easy, and we can't automatically shorten the URL. No, I don't think so. But we could turn it into a sheet button pretty easily. So you could just, oh, I've been using a Chinese version. Oops. Okay, so we go to the form setting and action button. So when you add an action button, you could just simply URL test. And action type, you choose URL. And for the action, you could like go to our homepage. Add action and URL test. And do a screenshot here. Oh, and you can even add it to your form page. There we go. So this goes to our homepage. Okay. You can simply add the URL action button. There we go. All right, let me remove this first. Okay. Okay. Two of your suppliers have Outlook email server and did not receive the email. Hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to diagnose this kind of email server issues, just like this. So we're gonna do. It's gonna be helpful if you can do some testing and contact support and do some testing, say that you have sent an email on a very specific time, and we can check the mail log on that time and see if there's any error code or bounce messages there. Yeah. Test email. Okay, here we go. And okay, Ragic's backup plan, worst case scenario. I heard this before. Who or what company backs your company should anything happen? Do you have another facility for backup if the company will be brought down and our data will be maintained somewhere? Right now, your data is hosted either on Amazon Web Service, AWS, or Google Cloud, GCP, Google Cloud Platform. So, um, yeah, if our company goes down, then but the data will basically still be there. Well, suppose if anybody pays for the the hosting services, but yeah, we do have a policy that if anything happens to our company, we will release Ragic as an open source software where you can use, and you will be able to use it for free and install it on your own server. Yeah, just it's kind of a backup plan. So in case that we're not around anymore. So yeah, if there's any other ways that could make you feel a bit more safe, feel free to let us know. But this is kind of what the most the best thing that we can do is that say that if our company does not run anymore, then we could open source our software. And really, this is a very unlikely scenario. We're not like a venture capital backed company. We're not burning any money. We're quite profitable. So for the foreseeable future, for us, we love doing this. So, and since we love doing it and it's profitable, so we will be doing it for the foreseeable future. And yeah, and the open source and free license would be the something that we just promise that in case that our company does not operate anymore. Source software completely free source software if our company does not operate anymore. Like outside funding and okay. Let us know if there's any other ways to Well, honestly, when comparing to like huge companies like Google or Amazon, especially like Google, they're gonna close down a product if it's not profitable or makes enough money for them. So, actually, for a small company, this is all we have, and if it's profitable, we'll be, keep doing it, for as long as we can run it. Okay, can you provide some history context to Ragic? There isn't much on the website. Um, Type a response in case I cannot get a live webinar in time. Well, I know most of you can. And that includes when was Ragic started and the history of Ragic. Where is it based? How large a company are you? Okay, sure. So Ragic started in 2009 and 8, and we started using Ragic very early, and the product took quite a long time to mature. Our company headquarters is located in Taipei, Taiwan. We also have office in the US to service different time zones. We have over 7 full-time Yeah, and yeah, I guess that's most of it. And let me know if there's any other things you would like to know about Reg. Yeah, so we've been doing this for a long time, and this kind of like no-code application builder is just takes a long time to build, and it's basically our life's work, and it will continue to be. Okay. Does Ragic have settings to limit access from a secure network or VPN? Yeah, I think you could limit the IP range that can access your account. So if you know the IP range of your VPN access, like from which IP when your users will be on when they access VPN or access Ragic from your office, then you will be able to say that you can only access Ragic within these your you can only access your Ragic account within these IP ranges. I think should be customizing Ragic for your company and connection restrictions. Yeah, you can add IP address and even like time of day that you allow people to access Ragic. Add connection restrictions by specifying the IP ranges for your PM or office LAN network. All right. Okay, next question. Is there a way to set up reminders emails to go out automatically? When creating reminder emails, does user always have to press a button, or can it be set up to kick out automatically? If I set up a view with specific criteria and new order that fits the criteria, can it be set up automatically to send out email once the criteria are met for a new order? Yeah, that's our reminder feature. So, it's right here. Reminders. So you can add reminders like test reminder, and you can limit the reminder to only execute when the record matches a specific view. So you could design a view like for maybe a sales order, and you can add a view to say that it only shows sales orders that are assigned to a specific department. So reminders will only be sent when a new sales order is being created for that department. Okay. All right. So you will be able to add reminders like this. You can add reminders. Right. Yeah. For this type of button, for this type of use. You can also specify a reminder to be only sent out when the record meets a certain criteria. by configuring in a view for the reminder and matched. Okay, and let me find the document for reminders. There we go. Okay, last one. How can I create a template with an Excel file? Okay, sounds like mail merge. I try to use one of my company forms in Microsoft Excel as a template for a new sheet. It didn't work when I tried to use it. There are specific parameters that need to be met in order to make an existing document upload as a template for a new sheet. Template for a new sheet. No, it cannot be a template for a new sheet. It can be a template for outputting a record on a sheet, but you cannot just import an Excel file to become a sheet directly. No, that's not how it works unless you're doing a data import. Okay, can there be multiple sets of columns in the template? Do they all have to be the same size? Huh. Okay, you're either talking about Excel imports. Okay, if you're referring to Excel imports, the data needs to be in a tabular format, which means each row refers to each row is correspond to a record. Okay, and there cannot be multiple sets of columns in the import file. The headers of the column should be the first row. Okay, so for a more detailed sample, you could take a look at our document for imports. Importing. There's a video there to show you how to do imports. Please refer to our Excel import document. Okay, so you can create a new sheet, database sheet by importing. So you can also do that by importing data. So let me point you to a more specific one. So you could just, when you create a new sheet, you can say create a new sheet with my Excel file, and remember that it needs to be in a tabular form, so that the first, let me zoom in. The first row will be the headers like customer ID, title, customer name, phone, and each row refers to an additional row of data, like the first customer, second customer, and each row is one customer. So it needs to be a tabular form. If it's in tabular form, then you can upload it and next use our wizard so that you can create a new sheet using this Excel file. Okay, so the biggest thing that you might have missed is that it needs to be a tabular form. The most important thing is that the sheet needs to be the data needs to be in tabular format, like a table. Okay. All right. So that's it for the questions today, and thank you for joining in. So let me know if you have any follow-up questions or any new questions for me. So our next Ragic office hour is in 2 weeks. So let's talk to let's let's talk to you in 2 weeks. All right. Goodbye.